Hello everybody. It is so good to see you. Hey Caitlin, I see you are already on. Thank you for joining, and everybody who's joining from Twitter and Facebook. It is Angel's Abdication release day, and I'm so excited because we get to do a launch party. uh, if you joined on this morning's Instagram Live, then you might have an idea of what some of the giveaway prizes are going to be today. But if you did not, we are having giveaways today. We have all different kinds. We've got candles, we've got gift cards, we've got books, and all in celebration of, Angel's Abdication, which is my first dark fantasy romance novel in the Demon King Draco and Angel Princess Syracuse duology, which is live on Amazon right now. It's free if you have Kindle Unlimited, and if you don't, it's still available to purchase on Amazon, and I'll try to drop the link. It should be in the description if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, but I'll try to drop the link in there in just a second. So to make sure I've got everybody down for the giveaways, drop me a comment in the chat. Hey Chrissy, watching on Facebook, so good to see you. Caitlin's on YouTube. If you're joining, we're going to be plugging in names of whoever's commenting on the wheel of names. We'll do that over here on my phone, and occasionally we'll stop and draw for a winner of something. But we have some other things planned today too. We're going to share a little sneak peek of Angel's Abdication, not chapter 1, because we read chapter 1 live yesterday and I don't want to be like spoilery too much. But I will read a little scene from Angel's Abdication that I didn't read on Instagram this morning. So if you're joining and you've already been on Angel's Abdication launch party on Instagram, you're going to hear something new. And also give you a sneak peek of Angel's Ascendance, which is volume 2. It's a 2-volume duology. Caitlin says, I am now 3 chapters in and it just keeps getting better. Oh, yay! I'm so glad you're enjoying it. And Chrissy, I believe I tagged you this morning because you won a drawing from yesterday's live. So message me so that I can get your prize over to you for that. You can shoot me a message on Facebook. But yeah, so let me get the Wheel of Names pulled up. We'll plug you both in, and we will kick off our party with a prize. There we go. So Wheel of Names is great. It's a randomizer. That way there's no chance that I could mess up the randomizer. So we got Caitlin and Chrissy right now. Is there anybody else on Twitter or Facebook or YouTube that wants in? Or maybe I should show you what the prize is going to be. These are going to be in a little bit different order. So the first prize that we have today is an Amazon ebook copy of Angel's Abdication. And that's going to be a U.S. copy. So if you're not in the U.S. and you win the prize, I will have to send you the actual file another way. Or you can ask me to gift it to a friend, and I'll do that too, because I know some people watching have already gotten the book. All right. So here we go. We got our first 2 spinning. Caitlin, you've got yourself an ebook copy. And I know you're already reading yours, Caitlin, so if you want a copy for a friend, I can gift it to a friend, or I can email you the file. It's up to you. Just connect a bonus copy. All right, so I mentioned a little sneak peek, but before we get into that, let's talk a little bit about Angel's Abdication for those who are watching the replay, who don't know what this book is, who don't know who I am. Hi, I'm Katherine. I'm a fantasy author, and while I write mostly dark fantasy, this is the first time that romance has been the main plot. I put out The Vow That Twisted Fate last year, this book. And it is an epic fantasy, and it has a side of romance, but it is not like an all-out romance. That's not the main theme of the story. So this is my first endeavor before the Realm of Darkness box set comes out in October. In this story, we have the Angel Crown Princess Syracuse, who has been engaged to, well, betrothed, I think is a better word, betrothed against her will to Lucifer because of a mysterious message from an oracle, which is a speaker for the gods, that just randomly appears and says, hey, Lucifer's coming today and you're going to marry him. And in the beginning, oh, thank you so much, Chrissy, saying it's a gorgeous cover. Hey, Luna, good to have you. Good to see you. Adding you to the list. So, this book's about Princess Syracuse as she finds out she's engaged, and then of course, according to the description that you can read on Amazon, she literally falls from heaven to avoid living her life, which is an eternity, with the devil as his bride. But it doesn't go far before she finds herself swept up in a romance with the demon king, who happens to be Lucifer's brother, and that's where everything gets interesting. And that is the beginning of Angel's Abdication. Is she wants to stay holy, she wants to remain able to take the throne of heaven one day when the current king is no longer ruling, but she can't do that if she lets darkness in. But she's also really drawn to this demon king. All right, so we're going to do a little sneak peek read from Angel's Abdication, and I promise I will try to make it one that is not too spoilery for you guys. So we're actually going to pick up in the scene where she meets Draco for the first time after falling from the heavens. I don't know if you're that far along yet, Caitlin. Let's see, you're in chapter 3. I don't know. I don't think you're quite there yet. Chapter 3 is a good chapter, but sorry, I'm just skimming through, making sure I don't give away anything too spoilery, getting up to this point because this is a little further in. All right, here we go. So, she's made it into the underworld when she fell from the heavens, and that is where we will pick up. Above me, a cloud of rainbow carrion wait for what I'm sure will be my death if I stay. Taking a deep, painful breath, I shove myself up with my bare feet against jagged stones. My hand hits the blue energy, and I'm no longer laying beneath a swarming flock of harpies. Instead, I'm looking straight into a pair of turquoise blue eyes in a half-human, half-devil face, the most beautiful face I have ever seen on a demon. The demon's mouth moves, but I hear nothing. Reaching my hand to my ears, I realize I suddenly have no feeling in them either. When I lift my hand in front of my face, crimson remains on my fingertips. Did they burst my eardrums? Or did I hurt my head when I fell? Or is this just blood from the harpies' attacks in the sky? Do you hear me, little dove? My attention snaps back to the demon, who smiles a broad, charming smile that makes me suddenly aware of how naked and vulnerable I am before him. You seem to have gotten lost. Never used a gate before? I can't think of how to answer him, not even in my mind. As I glance around to get my bearings, I can barely make out the stucco walls and tin roofs of the underworld's dwellings. Perched atop piles of rubble and rooftops on every side, the most hideous demons I've ever seen jeer down at me. Some appear to be laughing at my expense. Gesturing down to me, others are staring far too intently at my exposed body. Of the observing demons, some lick their lips or play with crude knives, and I can only imagine what they're wondering what a taste of holy flesh may taste like. It would poison us, just so you know, the handsome demon says in my mind, kneeling beside me. And that's where I'm going to leave you guys on the read. So, yeah, that's a snippet from when she first encounters Demon King Draco in Angel's Abdication. And super excited to see what you think of it. The book is up on Goodreads and BookBub, and obviously on Amazon too. So after you read it, if you'd love to share what you thought with other readers, that would always mean the world to me. I'm going to drop the American link to Angel's Abdication. Hey, Melissa, I'm going to add you to the giveaways too. Caitlin, I need to know more. You're just one chapter away, Caitlin. One chapter. So here's the link to Angel's Abdication. And if there's anybody else on and you want to make sure you're part of the next giveaway that we are literally about to draw, please drop me a comment. It can be any comment you want. But this next one I'm super, super excited about because it's a spoiler for another series. It is something that I have not shown anybody on any of my social media. I literally have only shown this to my email list, and I wasn't even planning on showing them. So I'm excited. If you are new and you don't know what Starfire Express is my portal adventure fantasy that has been being drafted and is supposed to come out through Starry Ink Press next year. It's about a human girl who gets on the wrong train on summer holiday and finds herself as the only human in a train full of monsters. And the train is part of a celebration tour that is taking the recently abducted, or apprehended is a better word, not abducted, apprehended godmother, crime boss, back to the central city to stand trial with the dragon overlords that she tried to overtake. And so I had art cards made. These are going to be in the release boxes. And I'm going to show you, but I'm not going to tell anybody that I'm releasing, like showing the launch card on here. So you'll have to tell your friends that there's a secret if they want to watch. But here it is. This is an art card I commissioned specially for the book. This is Hunter, the main male character in the book. He is a wolf and the chief of the not-so-secret police. He's the most respected man in the Starfire Express universe and is the one who actually apprehended the godmother. And then here we have June, who is the main character of the book, the human that stumbled onto the train. And everybody thinks she's a fae. And she's like, I'm not a fae. I'm just a human. I got on here on accident. So I am giving away a copy of this art card along with a $5 Amazon gift card in the next drawing. So if you're watching and you haven't dropped a chat, please drop something in the chat so I can include you. It's got a little snippet on the back, and then of course on the front it says 200 years of searching, I should have spent them all looking for you. And this is a sneak peek. Again, it's not going to be available. It was on my website store very briefly, but it's not going to be available for sale again outside of the launch boxes for Starfire Express. So this is your chance to get a physical signed copy. All right, so right now I have Caitlin, Chrissy, Luna, Melissa, and I think we're going to go ahead and spin our wheel of names. There it is. So here we go. Congratulations, Chrissy. So Chrissy, you have won the special card and the $5 Amazon gift card. Please shoot me a message on Facebook again. I'll need your mailing address to send you the card. If you're not in the U.S., the USPS asked me to put a phone number on there. So that's just something to think about, but I don't keep it for anything other than shipping it. And then your email address to get you your Amazon gift card. And thank you, Melissa. Beautiful. I love it. Makes me want to dive right into it. I'm so excited. I think the entire fan base is excited for this book. All the readers. You guys helped me pick the name for this book. You guys have helped decide so many things about this book. This book is genuinely for each and every one of you. I like to think of it as like a 10th Kingdom meets Hunger Games Catching Fire in feel. High stakes, rebellion, fae versus dragons, and all of that. So, yeah. But today we're focusing mostly on Angel's Abdication. Oh, you're so welcome, Chrissy. In Michigan. Oh, So I wonder where on the hand. I actually had a sister who stayed in Michigan for a good while, and we drove up there for her wedding, and it was so cold. It was just snowing, and it was the middle of spring, but it was just snowing everywhere. Okay, so we've got a couple more giveaways. If you didn't get drawn for that one, that's okay. You can still drop a chat. There's still time to get in on one of the other giveaways. We're going to do a sneak peek, as I said, of Angel's Ascendance, which is volume 2. And because I don't like carrying over the same thing, because so many of you guys are joining from the other live too, it's like, oh, let me give you something new, something you haven't heard yet. We started the book off with Angel's Ascendance this morning, a little sneak peek of the opening of chapter 1. And we're going to read a different portion in that same book. One of the things that I will say again, though, is Angel's Ascendance follows Dorothea as well as Draco and Syracuse. So Draco and Syracuse are obviously our two lovebirds, but Dorothea is Syracuse's sister and her banisher, which is like her captain of the guard and the only being alive who has the ability to literally banish gods to other dimensions. So she can assign people to fates far worse than death. She can open dimensions to anywhere and send them in pieces or in whole to anywhere. So she's sort of one of the most feared angels in the army, and where Syracuse is holy, Dorothea does all of Syracuse's dirty work. So I'd keep that in mind looking into this next scene for her. So she will have some scenes in Angel's Ascendance alongside Draco and Syracuse. It says, red tinges my vision as I barrel down the hall to the Angel King's chambers. A muscle twitching in my cheek raises my temper by the minute. With each flare of anger, sparks sizzle at the end of my staff of righteous destruction. Denizens of the lower world will lose a whole lot more than fingers by this night's end. When I reach the darkened glass double doors on the highest floor of the Pentacle, doors leading into the Angel King's chambers, it takes my brain a moment to catch up with the fact that the room is beyond dark. Dread fills me. Did someone steal him away as well? Of course, a power-hungry demon would take both of our crowned officials. Someone behind the doors chuckles heartily, a reedy, nasally chuckle finished off by a snort. I know that voice. Lightning shoots from the top of my spear into the doors, but dissolves upon impact with the purified metal handles. Kicking the doors open, I greet my king with a glare of steel and sparks of fury, which he catches with his bare palm and deflects out an open window. The fact that Eronus, king of the heavens, has the gall to sleep while the very heart of the heavens falls from her glory stokes flames within my chest. Every ragged breath is harder for me to take. The blood diamond on my forehead throbs with bloodlust. The weight of my sins, combined with my ordained sins committed on my sister Syracuse's behalf, threatens to crush me. My brother Thomason stands to the Angel King's side, his glass of red wine forgotten in his hand. As his broad grin melts into a horrified gape, I struggle to keep the electricity within me from zapping him into ash where he stands. He's drinking, merrymaking, while our sister is being dragged into hell. So yeah, that's our sneak peek of Angel's Ascendance Volume 2. It's up for pre-order. So when you finish Angel's Abdication, which has its little bittersweet happy ever after, but it's mostly happy, you get a sneak peek of the opening of Angel's Ascendance, which is already available for pre-order as well. It's just a few months away. And if you're one of the new people who have hopped on, just drop a chat. I'll add you to our wheel of names for the giveaways here. Thank you for joining. Oh, it sounds so good. Thank you so much. And Chrissy says, southeast, about an hour away from Detroit. Oh, it snowed today, actually. I'm so sorry. It seems to snow a lot in Michigan. Right now, I am in Tennessee. The closest big city to me would be Memphis. And it started out super cold this morning. And then when I went out just now, it was like 60 degrees and it was sort of nice. So this morning I've just flip-flop clothes. I put on a nice sleeveless dress this morning and I was like, I'm freezing to death. So I put on my NaNoWriMo sweatshirt. Well, now I'm sitting here going, man, it's a little warm to be sitting here in a sweatshirt. Yeah, I think it's time for our second to last giveaway of the day. This giveaway is going to be for a candle. I'm super excited about this. What would a good dark fantasy romance be without a dark fantasy candle? This is a dark dimension candle made by Novel Candle Company. Ashley created it especially for the villain in The Vow That Twisted Fate, who you see here on this side. This is Maedra. And the scent on this one is rose petal, black cherry, and myrrh. It's a woodwick candle with sparkling glitter, and I love it. It's my second favorite candle of the ones Novel Candle Company made me, but I have completely sold out of my favorite, which was the Dwarven's Keep's Temple. And she also did one for Talon, which is the Lattice Gate. So I have a couple of these left from from The Vow That Twisted Fate. So I feel like any villain can really be represented by a dark dimension candle. So that's what we are going to do this giveaway for. So if you joined and you haven't chatted anything, you can just say, I'm here, and I'll put you in. But we are about to run. Right now I have Caitlin, Chrissy, Luna, and Melissa on. All right, let's spin the wheel and see who's getting a candle. Melissa! Congratulations, you won a candle. So yeah, shoot me a message. You know where I live. Melissa, Melissa has been one of those people who's been with me since before I ever put my first debut epic fantasy out. When I was first drafting The Vow That Twisted Fate and getting ready to edit, I learned so much from Melissa, so it's such an honor to see you on today. And Melissa Wise is also a great author. She wrote a book called Hades Queen, which is available, and it's just beautiful. Speaking of underworlds and all that, and since I have you here, and if you're a Hades and Persephone lover like I am, and you would like to see a book where Persephone isn't necessarily a pushover, you should definitely check out Hades Queen. I'll drop the link in the chats here for you guys. It's just really, really good. It says the Facebook one might not have wanted to go through. But yeah, Melissa Wise, Hades Queen. Was not originally intending on plugging a bunch of authors, but I can't help it. Angel's Abdication is about a fallen angel and a demon king who managed to fall in love, but that doesn't mean it's limited to them. So, all right. So yeah, the other thing we have going on in this chat today is answering your questions about the series, about maybe any of my other projects. I know I've had some new people jump on board my reader community, and I am so humbled and thankful to have you all here. I was telling my sister this morning that when it comes to reading and people enjoying my books, I'm not really looking for a pedestal. I'm looking for a reader-writer community, because being on a pedestal would be really lonely. And so having you guys here with me has been such a pleasure. So I want to hear your questions. If you need a minute to think about them, I'm just going to talk about the breakdown of the Splitting World series, because I've gotten a lot of questions about that from my email list. And if you're watching the replay, hopefully that will be helpful. And then I will address any questions that you guys drop in the chat after that. But Splitting Worlds is a split of different duologies. I wrote each book, to be something that you could read as a complete standalone without having read the other books. Because I'm the kind of reader that reads so much that by the time an author I love puts out something else, I have literally probably read hundreds of other books before them, because I'm a speed reader. So every single book, whether you start with Down Falls the Queen and Ray's story, whether you start with Splitting Dusk, they're all going to be able to be read separate. There are characters that overlap, but very few key spoilers that overlap, so you can read the book without feeling, oh, this is going to ruin the whole other book for me. So chronologically speaking, though, the duology about Angel, Princess Syracuse, and Demon King Draco, they happen first. So that'd be Angel's Abdication, which is out right now, and that would be Angel's Ascendance, coming in August. They happen first. Immediately at the end of Angel's Ascendance, we have a 200-year jump, and it picks up with Splitting Dawn. And Splitting Dawn is my book in the Realm of Darkness box set. And for everybody who's new and doesn't know about the Realm of Darkness box set, the Realm of Darkness box set is a collection that I'm participating in with over 40 other authors. We are putting over 40 full-length novels, paranormal romance and dark fantasy romance into this set. And I'll drop the link here. We are selling that set on pre-order for 99 cents, but that price will go up once the book launches. I'm super excited. Us authors in the set, we are award-winning authors, best-selling authors. So just being able to be in the set with so many other talented people have been just a dream come true for me. I'm super excited to read some of the books in the set myself. But yeah, Splitting Dawn is a full-length novel. It will also be a dark fantasy romance. Draco, who we're following in Angel's Abdication, he is the villain in Splitting Dawn. That's one of the beautiful things about him, is he's the Demon King, and while he has my heart, even as the author, he never becomes the good guy. So if you're looking for dark fantasy romance with morally gray characters that tend more toward the dark than the light, you're looking for reluctant royalty, you're looking for forbidden love, this is something that you might want to look for in Angel's Abdication. And then it amps up that much more with a reverse harem aspect added in to Splitting Dawn, with the introduction of the vampire elves, some really snooty human nobles that would put Joffrey from Game of Thrones to shame. So yeah, I'm excited about it. So we got Angel's Abdication, Angel's Ascendance, and then the Realm of Darkness set will have my Splitting Dawn in it. As soon as Splitting Dawn is over in the timeline, is when Down Falls the Queen and Down Falls the King. That's a complete duology. You can read both today by about Tengu Warrior Princess Ray. It's a dark fantasy duology, picks up, and she represents the hand of justice, and it integrates a lot of my love for Japanese culture in with the story. There's no romance in Ray's, on purpose. So if you're a romance reader and you can't read a book without romance, it might not be it might not be the thing you're looking for, but I went ahead and listed both Down Falls the Queen and Down Falls the King at 99 cents this weekend because of Angel's Abdication's launch. And I was really just excited for you guys to be able to read them, because I just love hearing what you think of the books. And then following them, we get into the last hybrid portion. Kiera, the human princess in Splitting Dawn, the Realm of Darkness book, she's the first hybrid, a human with demon and angel and elf blood all mixed. But, yeah, vampire elves. Yes. Original and awesome. Never would have thought about combining two. Oh! I adore the vampire elf concept. I have to give it to my muse and my developmental editor who reads over all my stuff. But she was reading through, she made the comment, this guy's a vampire elf. And because they live in nature and they love like the trees and they wear long gowns and they have the long hair and all the stuff, but they're also vampires, but they keep all the knowledge and all of that stuff. And I was like, you are exactly right, these are vampire elves. So it just stuck and we have vampire elves. Yeah. So then the last hybrid series is following a young woman named Kaylin, who is a normal, plain Jane. She's a little bit curvy and a little bit sassy, but not too much. and her story picks up in Splitting Dusk, which right now is free to anybody who signs up for my newsletter on my website. It is only going to be there for the rest of April. There is a project coming that I can't say too much more about right now. Here's a link to my newsletter for anybody that would like to sign up. There will still be a way to get a copy of Splitting Dusk, but it will not be through my newsletter list anymore. And it will still be free, but I can't say a whole lot more about it. I will let you know as soon as I get the green light to do so. Replacing it on my newsletter list will be The Slayer Queen, which is not a part of the series at all. It's a grimdark vampire apocalyptic fantasy, and you guys voted on it as the book you want next. You guys being my current readership. So if you're already subscribed to my newsletter, you will not only get Splitting Dusk now, but then you will get a copy of The Slayer Queen 2 weeks before it comes out. So The Slayer Queen will be replacing Splitting Dusk on my website. So if you've wanted it, now's the time. Now's the time to get it. But Splitting Dusk is the second to last book in the series, and the last book will come out next year. That is Splitting Shadows, when all the loose ends get tied up and all the villains get to pay the price for what has happened in the other books. Hey, C.H. Smith, good to have you. You made it in time for our last giveaway, because we're almost there. We're doing the QA right now. Oh, thank you so much, Chrissy. That's such an honor. I've been editing for other people for so long, and in college I wrote a couple books that I put out, and they weren't well edited, and they flopped, and they deserved to flop, to be honest. They were filled with typos. I tried to get one of them edited, but I rushed the editor and didn't give her enough time to do a good job, and I was not an editor yet at that time. When I finished, I was like, you know what, I know what to do now. I know this process. I know that you can't edit your own books. So I found a team of editors. I got a mentor to help me on the actual publishing side, and it led to where I am right now. And so about this time last year, like in May, Splitting Dusk came out December of 2020. In May of last year, Down Falls the Queen came out, and then Val, my first full-length novel, came out last July. And I was not expecting the response that I got. It has been just humbling, and I'm so thankful to all of you for making this possible, because I always want to share my books. We all write for different reasons, and for me it's connecting with people who want to be seen, who want to be heard, and can say I resonate with that book. So yeah, thank you. Alright, so for the last giveaway, I am giving away something that I have only given to Street Team winners, and I have never sold this item. I literally only ordered 8 of them total when I was getting ready to publish Val, and that is a very special candle by Pen and Beach that they hand poured and hand wrote a label for. This is Arlena's Peace. It is oven baked bread with thyme and rain, and it's genuinely my favorite candle of the entire set. It smells like I imagine Queen Arlena's castle. In the Violet Twisted Fate, she's lived in a world where there's only been peace, and there has been no evil, because evil was banished from her world by the death of one of her ancestors for 500 years. And every day they bake fresh bread, and they bake get their own herbs and everything, and she loves the rain, and so this just smells exactly like I imagine her castle would. So this is going to be part 1 of the prize, and if you're going to get the candle, you might as well get the book. So I'm going to send a signed first edition paperback with the book of the Violet Twisted Fate. I am not ordering more signed first edition paperbacks. I sold all my hardbacks during the closeout sale last month. All the signed hardbacks. You can still buy an unsigned one on barnesandnoble.com, but I'm getting ready for the collector's extended edition of the Violet Twisted Fate. I just don't want to buy a whole bunch more of the paperbacks. So I have like 6 paperbacks left. I gave one away this morning. I'm giving another one away now. And the only way to get these signed first edition paperbacks is to win them in a giveaway between now and when the books come out. So, yeah. Oh, thank you so much. That's an amazing prize. So the paperback's available on Amazon. The hardback's available on Barnes & Noble. Ebook is wide when it comes to The Violet Twisted Fate. It's got Google Play, Barnes & Noble, Amazon. I feel like I'm missing something. But the paperbacks are on Amazon. And the collector's edition, I'll initially release exclusively in a box and on Amazon. If you want the one with sprayed edges and all that stuff, you're going to have to get it in a box. All right, so I have 5 people right now. I've got Chrissy, Caitlin, Luna, Melissa, and CH. If anybody else is on and you want in, drop me a comment on Facebook, drop me a comment on YouTube so that I can put you in for the final giveaway of the day, celebrating Angel's Abdication. All right, I think we are ready to spin the wheel for the last one. Here we go. All right, Chrissy, it's yours. Congratulations. You guys all saw it live. So, yeah. So, Chrissy, you're walking out with a couple different things today, and then your prize from yesterday. And Caitlin and everybody, thank you so much, CH and Luna, for joining. This has been amazing. Really, just the support has been amazing. Angel's Abdication is now available. It is free to read if you have Kindle Unlimited again, and it's available to purchase if not. So I'd love to hear your thoughts about it. Feel free to share a review, the good, the bad, the ugly. Love this, hate this character, liked the romance, wanted more of XYZ, that's fine. I'm good with any review you want to give me. But yeah, so thank you all so much for joining. Feel free to subscribe to my newsletter list to keep up with what is coming in the next few months. Realm of Darkness is doing a lot of giveaways, the authors in our set. I will be doing some things on my own, getting ready for Angel's Ascendance and the Slayer Queen. And of course, if you want your copy of the Slayer Queen 2 weeks before the rest of the world, if you're already on my newsletter list, you will get your copy 2 weeks early. And oh, you're so welcome, Chrissy. I'm so excited just to have each of you here. Have a great rest of your weekend, everybody. Bye.